Hello my PC students. This video is going to be dealing with magazine revenue, expenses, and net income. So let's go to File and we'll open up the file called XX Magazine. So go to your classes drive, go to your PC folder, go to Teaching Documents, and open up the one that is called XX Magazines. Alright, let's save it. So we will go to File and Save As, and we'll go to Browse, go to your name, and go to your Print Com folder, go to Excel, and click in your file name box, press Home, and I want you to type in your first name and the current date for you, and save it. Alright, I can see this one is all Calibri, so we don't need to change anything here, but take a look. Now this is magazines. Alright, and just think of, if you think of Safeway or Shoppers Drug Mart, magazines are delivered there at the beginning of the month. So you delivered 100 magazines. At the end of the month, you had to put out new ones, so you had to remove. So how many were not sold? The ones you removed was 20. So how many did you sell? Alright, equals, and you have to take the number delivered. You delivered 100 minus 20 that you removed. So what did you sell? You sold 80. Alright, so that's quite easy. And now for Norm's revenue, he got 50 cents for every Fortune magazine. Time gave him 45 cents, Newsweek 47, PC 42, Business Week 55, and People he got 60 cents. Alright, so we would have to take the number of magazines that he sold, 80, times how much did he get, and he got 50 cents a magazine. Alright, and press enter. So he would get $40. Alright, so now grab your fill handle and drag down, and the total here would be Alt equals. For he made $795.10. Okay. Alright, now his expenses, he had gas, insurance, and parking, so total expenses would be Alt equals, press enter, and there you have the total expenses. So what would the net income be? It would be equals your revenue, $795.10, minus your expenses, $140.88, and your net income was $654.22. Okay, I have a dollar sign here that I can see, so I'll double click my Format Painter. I will paint, and that's all I have to paint there. And now here's one with no dollar sign, so I'll use my paintbrush and I will paint here. Alright, so now I'm going to click off and go Control S to save. So I've got the revenue, I've got the expenses, and I've got the net income. Alright, so now the question tells you to name this sheet Original Values. So left double click and type in Original Values. Alright, and the second sheet was to be called Revised Values. Revised Values. Alright, now it says go back to the original values, and it says copy your total worksheet. Alright, so go Control Home just to make sure that you are in cell A1. And now go Control Shift End so that everything is selected. Alright, go Control C. And now go to Revised Values and go Control V. And there's all of your work. Alright, so now let's click on the letter A, hold down your Shift key, and click on the letter F. And now left double click so that everything gets moved out and it's readable. Alright, so on this one, on the Revised Values, and I see that I missed a capital E here, so I'll fix this. I'll put in the E. Alright, so now the revised values for Fortune, he gets 95 cents. So 95, actually it's 0.95, 0.95, and then the next one is 1.15, $1.15, and then he gets $1, and then he gets 1.20, and then he gets 1.05, and the last one, $1.10. Okay, All right, so now did you see how his revenue changed? He now has $1,672.60. His expenses didn't change though, but his net income certainly did. All right, go Control S to save. Now, just to save room here, the question's asking you to calculate which magazine had the maximum revenue. So let's put these items here, okay? So let's put in maximum revenue. And then the next one you're asked for is that you calculate the minimum revenue. And then the last one is the greatest number of sales. All right, so I'm going to widen this column here just so that you can see it like that. Okay, so the maximum revenue, okay, so you would put in equals max, M-A-X, and remember we're dealing with revenue, so E3 down to E8, the maximum revenue, and that was 512. All right, the paper that did that was people, so copy that and put people in there. Now the minimum revenue, okay, so equals min, open your parentheses, and we want to select the same selection, okay, and this time the minimum was 76, so that was fortune, so maybe you'll decide not to do that one again because you don't get paid nearly as well. Now the greatest number of sales, that's not revenue. The number of sales is the number sold. So greatest number means equals max. So open your parentheses, and we have to highlight from D3 down to D8. And the greatest number of sales was people. So go Control C to copy that and label your work appropriately. Okay, so that's good. That's what you were supposed to do there. So let's go Control S to save. And now this time I will do the headers and footers because you've got two sheets. So there's your original sheet and here is your revised sheet. All right, I'm going to click on the original sheet, hold down the Shift key and click on Revised Value Sheet. And now you should see Group in your title bar. Okay, Group in your title bar. So let's go to File. Let's go to Print, and now the first thing we want is Page Landscape, Sheet, Grid Lines, Row Column Headings, Header Footer, Custom Header, your name. Alright, so I'm going to put in my name, and remember Shift Home, and you want the capital A here for font. I told you to make it about size 20. We can choose bold and italic if you want. Choose a color that works for you, and remember I said drag your fonts down so that you go through and look at some different fonts for a change. Make sure they're readable, but look at some different fonts, okay, and choose one. All right, there's my name, and now we want the date and we want the time, and over here we want the sheet name. Press enter, and we want page spacebar OF spacebar pages. All right, say OK, and your custom footer, and here we want to have the path and file name. Now we've only got 2 pages, so we'll put a picture on one page and not worry about the other page. So go to picture here and let's search for magazines. Okay, there's a bunch of magazines. That's good. Insert. And now select your picture, and we want to, I'm going to go with 40%. I don't really know, but we'll try 40. All right, and say OK, and OK. So now, oh, my picture's way too big. All right, go back to page setup, and I've got to go to header footer, custom footer, and I'll put it down to about 10%. Sometimes you even have to go down. Oh, that's 104. Okay, hold on. I'll try the 40. I must have made a mistake. All right, 40, and say 40, and OK. All right, so that works just barely. Let's now, we got here, and oh, look at here. There's something here in column F. We want to get rid of that. All right, And now our picture is here, but it's too big. So what we got to do is I got to go to page setup, and I want to go to sheet, header footer. I want to go to custom footer, and I want to go here, and I want to make it 10%. And tab. Alright, and say OK, and say OK, and say OK. There, that's better. Okay, so now we're going to come back because there's pages that we've got here. So we want to click, first of all, I'm going to take your grouping off. I'm going to click on sheet 3. Now, on the original values, I'm going to click here on the letter A, hold down your shift key and click on the letter E and left double click so that I tighten that up. And remember, we don't know what's in these columns, so I'm going to go to clear all. All right, now let's just check this out and see if I fit on one page. And I do. All right, now I'm going to go to page setup because my picture's too big. So I want to go to footer and I want to select it and go to format, and I made it 10%. Okay, and say OK, and say OK. All right, so that one fits fine. That one's good. You can see the original values. All right, I'm going to go back. Now I want to check your revised values, and first of all I am going to clear all here just to make sure. All right, and now click on my letter A, hold down my shift key and click on my letter F and left double click to size it down. All right, let's go to file print, check it out, and we're on one page. All right, that's good. Okay, so I want to go back one more time. Now, if you want to print them together, obviously you'd get your headings done. Now, this time, leave your grouping on. Leave your grouping on. Put it on. And I'm going to go to Magazines Unlimited, hold down my shift key, and click here at E. Merge and center. I'm just going to make it red because that's convenient. And fill it. I want to make it bold, italics. I want to make it about size 20. I'm going to drag it down and I'm going to put center on it so it looks good. All right, now let's go back. Go to original values. There it is. That's great. Go to revised values, but I'm missing this column. So I'm going to go to A1, take off my merge and center. Now come back, hold down your shift key and click in F1. Now merge and center, and now Magazines Unlimited is centered over that amount, which is correct. All right, let's go Control S to save. And so now if I go back and group them and I go to print, I can go to File, Print, and I want to make sure my printer's ready here. And now take a look. We have 1 of 2. So there you are. That's what you want. 1 of 2. Then you're ready to print at this point in time. All right, we'll stop there and save your work, and that's it.